Hello everyone, respected all dignitaries, Shravan sir, all my seniors and dear friends. A peaceful good morning to all and good evening to all dignitaries. My name is Swapna from first year chemical engineering. Today I am going to host this Top Talk. I am glad to host this Top Talk and a warm welcome to you all. Let us get into the session with an invocation by Nivedita.
Thank you, Swapna. This is who we are. We are a team, talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everyone and everything. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to others. We take ownership in everything we do. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? This is who we are. By Shivani Shivsagar. Thank you.
Thank you, Nivedita. Before introducing our chief guest, I would like to share a quotation in Hindi. मेहनत अच्छी हो तो रंग लाती है, मेहनत गहरी हो तो सबको पाती है, मेहनत नदन हो तो टूट जाती है, फिर मेहनत आपके राजेश खेसर और श्रीविद्या मैम के जैसी होते इतिहास बनती है. So now I would like to introduce our chief guest. Basically we know about Srividya ma'am, so let me know about Rajesh Kesar. Rajesh Kesar has done a master psychology and PG in mental health and a certified counselor. Sir got a first degree black belt in Taekwondo, martial art and yoga instructor certification from Vyasa. Also a motivational, inspirational storyteller, connects everything to have life. He is a co-founder at Nadia Technology Private Limited Company, former National Council member of Youth for Seva NGO, and involves himself with 200 plus government schools and 150 plus colleges. He calls himself jock of all and master of being human. He interacts with the youth on various topics and he is a change maker from Nimhans to promote mental health awareness. Presently pursuing his PhD research as scholar at Vyasa in yoga and yogic counseling. Sarah and ma'am coming together to say about our current situation and related some issues related COVID-19. Today's our session is about the story of Ground Zero volunteers. So let us know more about the story of Ground Zero volunteers from Srividya ma'am and Rajesh Kesar. Over to you, Srividya ma'am and Rajesh Kes.
Thank you so much, Swapna. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful introduction and a kickstart. Very well done. Thank you, Nivedita, for your invocation. And Rajesh, just for your information, the invocation is written by these students only, and they use it every time. One of them who wrote, sorry, I forgot who wrote, but
Shivani Akkam.
Shivani, yeah.
Shivani.
And just to add a little more about Rajesh, the role Rajesh and I will have a nicer, while the topic is about pandemic and coronavirus, doesn't mean we need to have a serious conversation. The data will be serious in the sense real, but we will have a nice conversation. And he's a very humorous guy. He plays all kinds of musical instruments, flute, tabla, and he's a magician. There's a lot more to his basket when he says he's Jack. I don't know whether he's just a Jack, but yes, he's into a lot of things. Beyond all that, he's a good friend, a good human being. I think that makes it all for him to be in the volunteering space. You will know, you will experience that rather than me trying to talk more about it. Just to set the context of what we're going to do today, or why did this came up. Shravan, would you like to give a background of why did the topic came up, or would you do?
Yeah, let me do that. I heard about this second wave, and I saw that it is in the news cycle, and many the families that are getting affected has increased. It was also pretty high in last year. At least 20 of our friends have lost their parents or someone close to them. So now we are hearing that it is happening more. So, so I thought, the news cycle has their own agenda, and so I thought maybe we need to get some ground level information so that way we know exactly what is going on. And SriVidya is like one of those people I always call if I need to talk about an idea, talk about something. She seems to know many people from many walks of life. And as soon as I said, hey, SriVidya, what is going on? Is there a way I can get some information? And she's like, no, we have all this. And she started telling me the different things that, the group which you are all part of are doing at the ground level. I felt like it is something that the students and their parents, some of the parents are sitting next to the students. So we thought, the parents will also, So that is how this whole meeting came about. And thank you, Rajesh, for joining. Really appreciate it. Go ahead, SriVidya.
Thank you. Thank you, Shravan. So, the context we started and saying, while we hear in the news only the things which are not going well, which is the truth. I mean, how much truth is different, but while a lot of things are not going well, there are a lot of efforts by so many people to try and help and reach out and see what can be done. So Rajesh has been leading many such groups while I'm part of it. Always I'm little part of everything and not lead. Like you all there with Shravan is leading, but I just do that little support to ESL like that. I'm there everywhere, little. From that, so that is where when Shravan said, I said, it's not just me. I will invite Rajesh, who will talk a lot more about what's happening. So I'll hand over to. So you guys want to start asking questions, or do you want us to share something?
I think you should both, talk about what is going on, how it is, what you have done over the last 1.5 years, 1 year, I would say, and then students can ask questions.
So over to Rajesh to give some bit of overview of what happens.
By the way, before my son is part of Youth for Seva. Just letting you know, we do a lot of Seva work here in Colorado. We do quite a bit of work, and so
they do lot of work. Shravan is completely into Seva only. His life is now completely dedicated to Seva in different forms. Rajesh, I mean, he was the one who you've heard about him, right? My TED friend. My TED friend.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, SriVidya. Thank you, Shravan. And welcome, Chetan, for this session and all my young friends here. We have been hearing a lot about COVID and, of course, the first wave, which happened last year, and the second wave, which we are talking now. And already discussions are there for the third wave also. It is same like, I think, they're becoming an IPL match where people are getting eliminated day by day. And it's not easy for people to go through this stage because somewhere or other, a lot of blaming is happening that who should have done what and why it happened. But a simple answer to that question is somewhere everything boils down to us. Somewhere or other, we left the thought process that we have been as humans top of the evolution and we can manage everything. Though of course a lot of talks are going on the vaccine, but as we know also, those who are from the research field, they know that even the second phase and the third phase of testing of vaccines, etc., also is going. And when it comes to medicine and vaccines, etc., it's always a longitudinal thing which is done. It is same like it has to be tested again and again. But what exactly happening at the ground level zero, I will tell. And these are most of this time, the second time, the challenges are more than the first time that we are. So a lot in the first phase when the task force was there, what we used to do it, because it was quite new, so we used to form some WhatsApp groups and some telephonic lines that were done by the local member of parliaments and maybe other organizations. So people used to call and ask what is actually the corona is there. It may be a counseling call, it could be, or they, when lockdown was done, so people used to say that these are the medicines, because when everything is closed, so there may be some people who may need daily medications, daily groceries also was there, and shops are closed, etc. So major chunk of volunteering that happened during that time was delivering medicines to people, or maybe giving groceries. There were some organizations who were preparing food, and lot many people, because they are daily wages, so they are not on the rolls of some organization, etc. So they don't have money. That means they don't have food also, and in that way what happened, so regular in touch with them. And we also know that lot of migration happened at that time, those people who wanted to go, because what exactly was going on in the first phase was the fear was building up, though, because everything was new, there were no answers for that. And at the same time, there were many stories, that negative stories that keep on flowing in media or maybe WhatsApp. So not only the social media was used as a strength to make people aware of it, but at the same time it was also playing a major negative role also. But leaving apart that story, somehow we came out of it, and almost everything was okay. I was told that we could have done it better, but then the second wave came, because there were some things which we did not take care, or maybe it's a new type of virus they are telling, which does not show, and this time it is in the young people it is affecting. Few days ago, I also found out that there is a news that came that even it is now started in animals, and I am yet to validate that information. So in the second phase, the most important challenge that we as ground level volunteers were validating information, because every second person became a WhatsApp doctor. Everyone started telling you put 5 lemon drops in your mouth. Everyone started telling you take haldi. Everyone said the benefits of yoga, and everyone, even genuine doctor also, who is telling, nobody starts believing, because so many. And the second is the forwarding of messages. We are all givers in from our basic nature, if something comes to us, we'll definitely have been taught in our culture to give. So in WhatsApp also we have started giving, everything, even half message, pat, 10 times it is. And mind you, we have a blood arranging team which arranges blood. The messages which were almost 5 years ago, the same person's name, the person himself is dead also, but now his name also is coming, he's ready to give. And then somebody starts this plasma, and everybody wants plasma donor. And then of course there are ground level problems are there in major states, etc., maybe Delhi or etc. I may definitely with authority talk about what is happening in Bangalore area. So the oxygen, correct, everybody started not only telling where oxygen is available, and they started, some people even put somebody else's phone number just for fun. So there are such people also there. And if I would have opened a telephone company today, I would have been a millionaire. The calls, etc. So many calls are happening. But at the same time, there are some genuine information which get mixed up. So if I show you my WhatsApp today, if I leave it for 1 hour, I'm sure there will be about 500 to 600 messages, which are from the relevant groups I'm telling. Rest WhatsApp doctors, I don't allow them also to read, to send messages to me. But then I started a small group called validation group. I thought that is the best thing is there, which could be done. So I started this initiative with about 5 people. So we used to, any message that used to come, we used to call them, validate them, and then put in the groups that this message is validated, this phone number is validated. But then again, the challenge happens, because the situation was so dynamic. Suppose if I put SriVidya is there, SriVidya says I am oxygen provider, and I will send SriVidya's number. Within 3 hours, her oxygen is finished. So she becomes invalidated message again. Why? Because situation is dynamic, but thousands of people are still calling. Then comes the beds. Right now, what I am told is the worst contaminated places where you can get corona is hospitals only, because they are not able to sanitize, the caregivers are getting more and more because they are with the patients. Yes, of course, those with who's having comorbidities, etc., it is affecting them very much, but only 5% of people are there. 95% people can definitely get well by their own efforts, by staying home and staying safe, by managing all those things which have been told, getting an RT-PCR test, or maybe staying home, taking steam, etc. But what is happening? 5% of those people who need bed, etc., they are not able to go to the hospital. Rest 95% are flooding everyone. And in India, we have this habit of, using our resources, I know even the Prime Minister, the Member of Parliament, I know the head of the department of this hospital, and those doctors who have to attend to the patients, they are busy in attending calls from their friends, etc., to get me a bed, get to my bed. But definitely the government also came forward and they made that the beds will be available only through these few numbers. And they also proactively made that beds will be 50% beds will be allotted to the government, and everything is happening systematically. But then the problem is the system is not known to the people, that awareness is not going. That is what we are also doing. But at the same time, there is also some teams which have started a counseling center. That means people can call on this call center or directly also, because in this situation people need someone to talk to them, tell them what exactly is the level, what is happening. Then there are a set of doctors who are attending to tele consulting is happening. That is also going on a large base. At the same time, we have also started a grief counseling system. That means there are many people who are being losing close relatives and family members, and it could happen that maybe they are the only bread earning member of the family. The children may be there, so we are finding a system how we can educate those children, give them some support, etc. And that is on the broader aspect that is happening right now from my side. But I'm sure you are also everyone part of WhatsApp group, so no need to tell what to do and what not to do. Only I will stop here and with a small request that please don't forward messages unless you validate it yourself. And if you find some messages which is not validate, be open. I have told all my volunteers, all my friends, if there is a fake message, you write fake, 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 fake. 10 times you discourage that person, then only he will stop. Otherwise, even WhatsApp has made it so easy to forward messages, copy, and it has become though it should not be the official mode of communication, it can help someone, but many places it is harming more than helping people. Right? So with this here I stop, and then if you have some questions, definitely we will answer those questions, because we are here to discuss.
Rajesh. Thank you, Rajesh, for the first round of information. We will get into the details and more questions and other things. Before that, can I invite Mr. Chetan Makam? Chetan, would you share as an organization? I went through yours as a huge global organization. How are you there, Chetan? There he is. Okay. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Nice
Good.
to now connect in this platform while we are there.
Sure.
Right. So I went through your website quickly in the morning, and as a global organization, what are your steps and preventive measures or curative measures you would be taking? I think it will be nice for us also to hear, and for our students also to hear that.
I think very simply put, you try to control what you can and minimize what you can. So our first priority obviously is to keep all our employees safe. And globally, we have an additional responsibility because, Rajesh just mentioned plasma. Convalescent plasma was one of the early therapies that gave hope while everyone else figured out remdesivir, steroids, the vaccine and everything else. And if you look at Mayo Clinic studies, when given within the first 3 days of hospitalization, it actually increases your chances of survival. And in fact, in India, globally, of course, we've got thousands of our machines collecting convalescent plasma. In India itself, we have over 300 machines at 200 centers. We helped set up all these centers with the local government. So anyway, I think do what you can, but as a organization, you can imagine, just to keep all these kits and devices being produced, we instituted some very, very strict measures in all our factories around the world. Social distancing, sanitizing, obviously we work in clean rooms, so that gives an added layer of protection, which helps. And I think the key message here is, individual responsibility and accountability as well. So all offices went to work from home. Only those essential people needed to be there. We had obviously lots and lots of technicians who have to go in, and this is actually all the folks in my on my team for global services, who actually had to go into hospitals, install devices. They slept in cars, they slept in parking lots so that they couldn't be infected with things. And so I think, keeping the people safe, overall, I think that would be how we've, what we like to call, thrived, not just survived in this crisis, right? I think, there is one piece around how COVID has disrupted our lives, but it has also enhanced innovation. Just the fact that all of us are on this call. 2-3 years ago, if you said, can we do a Google Meet, people would have said no. Oh, I have to log in and this and that. But now this has become commonplace. If you take this call, everybody on this call can type into the chat and express an opinion. It's very democratic versus, and I see this in company meetings, right? People who never spoke up are happy to type comments, versus if you were all in a big conference room, only the person with the loudest voice and the most obnoxious person spoke up and everyone else listened. So I think, communication has become more democratic. I mean, to serve all these customers, we've come up with, ability to remotely install our machines, diagnose them, consult with them. Imagine you have a patient connected to the machine and you want to get advice. Our guys pick up the phone 24/7 to advise people. So, that's gone from, just phones to WhatsApp and WeChat and all these other things. So I think the pandemic has also given rise to a lot of innovation. So I'll stop here and, see if anyone has any questions or clarifications. Otherwise, I could talk on this all night.
I have a first question. I don't know if students can have, but is it okay, students, or can I go, or any of you want to ask? Okay. No, you're in this healthcare medical field, so that was what was interesting. I'm sure I'd like to hear a little more of how did you gear up to contribute to the requirement just increase, right? It just went up. The need went up overnight, literally overnight. Yeah. So how did you gear up to increase your from production to supply to everything?
Yeah, and I've spoken about it and given interviews, actually, I think on, I'm not sure which papers, but Express News, Hindu, you Google my name, you'll find those online just in the last few months. Fundamentally, I think you have to be prepared always. It's called, business continuity planning, and we know how to move resources around the globe in order to keep the supplies going. Obviously, our manufacturing folk did a fantastic job in being able to ramp up production with capacity. Like you said, on our website, we talk about a 30% increase in capacity for those kits. And because the commercial flights all stopped, most people don't know this, but most of the cargo actually goes on commercial flights. So when you getting on a plane in Bangalore airport and you see all those big boxes being loaded, that's actually cargo. They don't really make money, from the ticket price we pay. But because no commercial flights meant increased cost of goods, and we actually absorbed a lot of it so that our customers weren't affected. by the sudden increase in freight, right? So different things, for example, the UK health system, NHSBT, wanted 75 devices installed in less than a week. So like I said earlier, our guys, got the machines there, air freighted. People slept in their cars to make sure the machines were up and running. So just a fantastic team effort. And I think it's also important to point out that it's our mission and vision, right? So the tagline for Terumo Corp is contributing to society through healthcare. And actually, one of our corporate goals is increase number of patients served. We don't start with increased profits or increased revenue. We start with increased patients served, which means the more people who have access to our technology, the more they will benefit, and the what do you call it? The outcome of that will be obviously more revenue and profit. We are a company, so we have to take care of that, but it starts with the patient.
It's just amazing. I think all we can say is hats off to you and your team for
not to me, it's all the people on the front line. I sit in the comfort of my office, and we are all virtually working, but all my engineers, all our manufacturing guys, they are the ones who deserve the kudos.
Exactly. I mean, as a leader, I'm sure you're taking care of them. So I don't think we need to dilute that part. If you also go on the ground, then who's going to lead them? So we need, I understand while you're sitting in your comfort zone, but it's physical comfort. You might be sitting, but I'm sure you are going through your own, the challenges. So to the entire team, not just kudos, appreciation, I think our prayers for all of you to stay healthy so that you can serve more people. I think that is what I would say in a sincere thank you and a lot of
thank
prayers.
You, appreciate it.
Prayers for well-being of entire your team, including starting from you to the ground level.
Sure. I saw a question pop up on Industry 4.0. So I think, digital transformation, Industry 4.0, IoT, all fancy names for new tools. The way I'm going to give you a quick example is, many years ago, hundreds years, maybe sometimes in villages in India, you use coal and firewood to cook your food. Then came, some oil. Then came your kerosene stove. Then came gas cylinders, and in some complexes now you get piped gas. And the way you collected your coal or your wood was you actually went into the forest. Then it was delivered at home. Then your oil is delivered at home and you pay the guy cash. Now in many places, there is a meter. They tell you how much it was. They send you an email and they suck money out of your account. Because, but what hasn't changed is the need to cook and to use some sort of fuel. So I look at digital transformation, Industry 4.0 as the next generation of tools that we will be applying to all our processes, right? And in our case, yes, we are, any company, not just us, probably had a plan to do digital transformation and all these things. I would say that all those plans have been accelerated by 2 to 5 years because there were no other ways to reach your customer when everybody is at home. Only the essential people are going out. So how do you talk to your customer? How do you train your people? How do you communicate with them? And just like SriVidya said, how do you give them confidence when they're all alone that there is somebody behind you, somebody supporting you, someone you can talk to, right? I mean, all these different things. So in my opinion, all these things are here to stay. I would say even when the pandemic is all done and we get back to whatever is the new normal, because that will be normal at that point, we will still see at least 50 to 70% of communication happen this way. Now that we have all recognized, I mean, think of it, right? Shravan and I are sitting here in Colorado. All of you are in Bangalore, Hyderabad, other places. Just imagine if we had to bring all these people together in one room. Just the coordination, let alone the cost, just the coordination would take weeks.
Correct.
Right? But now we can have a meeting just with 3 hour notice. And so I think all these digital tools will stay. They give you scalability, right? I think people underestimate the power of knowledge. I mean, SriVidya, yourself, you talk to so many audiences. This digital transformation has improved scale, right? You can now talk to 1,000 people at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
so
that's
so that's all good. Crisis
true
is
Chetan,
also
always a
because
great
because that
Chetan,
technology
topic.
also. Yeah, like you said, the technology, we also faced, see, we used to think that maybe how volunteering can be done online and what efforts they could do also. And small example I'll give. A few days ago, we started an initiative for giving yogic practices to people. So how could we bring people together? So technologies like Zoom is helping, Google Meet is helping. But the registrations, such a one simple Google form, 10,000 people and all data is all done, and it also sends message by itself. So it's so much we are looking forward for technology to help in the social sector also. It's not always, but we still miss the one-to-one connection of meeting people face to face and staying with them, but somehow we have to adjust also.
uh,
Yeah, Rajesh, we are all human beings. We crave that touch. We crave the sense of belonging. So I
the
think
smell, even the
exactly
smell.
all kinds of things, right? I mean, just to feel the presence many times as well. And let's not diminish the importance of talking to somebody in person, right? Because right now we are all going to be objective. We're going to talk about this topic and move on. But if I were to meet you over a cup of coffee or in a conference room, I would probably talk about 15 other topics that we would never have talked about, right? And then people also want to know that you're okay, whether they're your friends, your family, all these things. So I think we will do at least 50% of our meetings in person whenever we are
Definitely.
allowed to. Instead of doing like two meetings that we bring the company together, we might do just one, but I don't think we're ever going to. I personally would not like to get away from meeting people and learning about them. It's a different kind of high.
Absolutely. And Chetan, here I can make an offer to you that for your organization, if there's anything I can do in terms of, what I'm doing currently for a lot of these volunteers or organization is relaxation and rejuvenation sessions, because that's what they need, as you said. Because they're so tired and they've physically tired, mentally more tired, and there is that negativity all around. So I'm doing various initiatives. So anything I can do for your organization, I'm happy to do that.
Yes, appreciate the offer, SriVidya. We'll see where we can take advantage of that. And if any of you need me to speak and talk to folks as well, more than happy to share my experiences.
Yes,
Yeah,
from a
that's a very
counseling, if
beautiful.
your team wants to talk to us as counselors, just listening or doing a session or anything like that, do let us know, and we will be happy to help. I mean, from a counseling or anything, Rajesh and I or all of us are here to. If we can do anything, we're happy to contribute. And
Will do. Will do. Thank you.
And that was one of the initiatives also for we did for the war room people. Where Srividya did few sessions, and we decided that every week we should do some sessions because they are also tired of taking calls, etc. Maybe definitely that's their job to stay on ground zero and do something, but somewhere or other they also need a change, that mindset, because mental health is one thing which is we have been talking about for quite some time, and right now with this it has exaggerated right now, so that we have to take it very seriously, and for that we need to work very systematically also.
I understand, Chetan, that you need to log off early. I don't know how many more minutes you have. So I'll let students ask you any question they have. How many more minutes do you have, Chetan?
No, I'm okay. I think I did a power nap some time ago, so I'll go some more time. Don't worry about it, as long as you
Okay.
need me to.
Okay. So all the three of us are there now. Over to students, and then later I will talk about what we can do as individuals while we hear from organization or volunteering group. But that I will talk about it a little later. Over to students for any questions.
So let me ask a question. Okay. So Rajesh, so what does your day look like from a COVID perspective every day when you get up?
Yeah. So actually, for the past few days, around 6 o'clock only, we are doing this yogic sessions of pranayama, which is an open session for people. They can come and do. So as I told, till last week, with only 2-3 sessions were happening. That's what we were doing. But now there are about 500 yoga teachers who have come forward to do multiple sessions in different languages. So a lot of work goes on. They set their own Zoom meetings, and those people who I told want to do sessions, it may be. And so that first 1 hour goes in self doing also, and at the same time. But few of in my organization only, we have started a challenge of 10,000 steps a day. So everybody has to do those 10,000 steps and send the message through that one of the apps. So not only me, I do also some walking, etc. But also we monitor if others are doing, etc. So that is second thing. And then I go through all those WhatsApp groups and messages that have come. And maybe if some patients were there in the hospital, so if I know them personally, or maybe it has come through some reference, I cross check if they are there. Then there are some review meetings that are happening of what else we can do, because many volunteers, they come out with ideas. And in volunteering, that is one of the challenges nowadays is ideas are more, but how to implement them in this present scenario. I always talk about this dynamic nature of what is happening. But at the same time, I'm also a little bit involved in my studies. PhD classes are going on online. So I spend almost a good amount of 2 to 3 hours on online classes, which I am taking. At the same time, I also am taking classes for young children on value education and other activities to keep them busy, because most of the students are in online classes all during the day, and exams are already happened and they are free at home. So I bring about 10 to 15 students, and then I have one friend also who works with me. So we alternate day, we take it, we tell them some stories, give them some homework, make them inculcate some habits in life, etc. Like that. Apart from that, there are multiple sessions which we get invitations for, which others are doing. And of course, opportunities like this where people call us and want to share, and it may be direct sessions also. In that way it goes. And if you see my asana siddhi, which says asana siddhi means the power of a person to sit in a same asana for a long time, it is called. Correct? So my asana siddhi for Padmasana is from morning 6 o'clock to night 11 o'clock. Almost same place I am here, apart from my walk for myself. So that asana siddhi has come. And then I keep on making some notes, etc. Some ideas come. I also play for myself.
Yeah, in between he keeps playing his musical instruments.
Some tricks, and I usually make 5 to 10 calls to personal friends where we don't discuss anything else. We keep on sharing some good information. Like, a few days ago, there came a message that says, Google dhunda, Yahoo dhunda, dhunda maine Bing. Kahet Kabir, bhaiya, sab kuch milega jab dhundoge within. So I said, very nice, brother. So dhundoge within. And Corona ji bole, tum reh jao within. He is not allowing us to go outside also, I said. So like this, we only share happy news, etc. and fun, and we don't discuss. But of course, there are almost in one day 2 to 3 bad news also, which we get from close friends, etc. that something is happening. Because when requests are too many also, so I also have accepted that these bad news also will come. And that also troubles me sometimes. So I spend some time introspecting myself, what else we could have done, etc. Because not every request that comes to us we can 100% cater to. So for some we try our best, for some we pray our best. So both things we do, others.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Somebody has raised their hand.
Good morning, Rajesh sir. I want to know. Just now you have said that you prioritize the requests, right? So how would you do that? What was your first priority? I mean, which type of groups you used to give your priority?
We have this COVID task force groups are there. So like I said, validation was the greatest problem which I encountered at this time. So those validation group only, we have one group for oxygen, we have one group for beds, we have one group for if somebody wants food. So like what happens is there are some social problems which we don't know also. See, right now about 60% of people in Bangalore, I mean 60% may be high, but what I say is there are old people who are living alone at home, and they don't have access to somebody delivering them groceries when there's a lockout is there. People are continuously on medication, so if they don't take this diabetes medication or injections, etc., so there is no point who can bring for them. Correct. So there must be volunteers who are ready to go. Not all volunteers will be ready to do virtual volunteering. There are some very strong volunteers who with even mask or without mask are ready to go and serve people. So such crazy people are also there in my team. In the last corona time, I will tell you, there was a girl who traveled 170 kilometers just to give one life-saving medicine for one elderly person. She went 170 kilometers and came back 170. Somebody asked why she did. She says, somebody had to do, no? If not me, who? So like that, stories are there. And those things are very important. So that validation team is my first priority. And then I see who requires beds, etc. The beds, getting beds also is very important, which I have no control over it. I know only the right places where this message can be given and the right people. And so, and if yesterday somebody has asked for bed, etc., if he's got or not, just asking welfare also helps, because if somebody has asked for a request, if next time when you answer him back, he feels that okay, of course it is not just a forward that I did to him, because I know it's a forward from him. He must have asked 10 15 people also, but things not necessarily will happen through me, but if things have happened, that is important for me, so that I do. And I have an app which says usage time, so every day when I see, in the evening, my 90% of time is gone. The green source WhatsApp only. I have become a WhatsApp addict actually, and I should come out of it slowly, because that should not harm me also. So on my priority, that is also is there. After some days, I need to reduce that, because every 5 seconds my hand goes on my phone if something is there or not, because that concern will create that. And mind is, it is habitual, and we are addicted to seva actually.
Very true. Seva is an addiction. I'm sure all of you are experiencing it. Shravan is living that addiction through the day.
Yes, at one point of time, I was so strong. I told the people the best seva that you can do is don't do any seva, because stop forwarding these messages, etc. Which are no value. And one
Rajesh,
point,
I strongly second what you said. Okay, I think right now the second wave, at least from everything I'm reading and the things I keep in touch, the affluent folks like us are spreading the virus, because they went to restaurants, went on trips, Goa, Ooty, everywhere, and did not take the proper precautions, won't wear a mask. So I think the best seva everyone can do is stay home, right? Don't at least try and kill somebody else, and save yourself. And if you see your friends going anywhere or doing anything, tell them like, you're fortunate to be healthy, have food in your house, have shelter. So just stay there and let the people who need help get help. I think this wave has been because of the people who could not exercise self restraint. And that is something that we should all be very aware of.
Very true. Very true. There is a meme on this. Now IPL is going on, so there's a nice meme people have come up. For the RCB, for the Bangalore RCB team, the tagline was "Isala Cup Namde." That means this time we will win the cup. That's the meaning. Now they have changed Isala Tap Namde. Isala, this time Tapu is mistake is ours.
SriVidya, I'm very fluent in Kannada. Don't worry.
No, it is for all of the others. They don't know.
At one point of time, when when we get flooded with messages, do this, and we are not capable, So I one time wrote a message, to everyone. I said, I cannot get you oxygen, but I can teach you how to breathe properly and get as much as oxygen which is available in this. I cannot give you a bed, but I can teach you how to sleep well with yoga nidra. I cannot give you this remdesivir medicine, you know what is that? But I can give you a shiver which is more better than Ramdev Baba's shiver. So come to me, I said. But rest more than this, I cannot do this. So this also happens that not only we should be concerned about what we are doing, at the same time we should also be concerned about our own well-being also. And that happens only when you have the right people, friends, etc., whom you can share. Right? Lokamante speed. In Telugu they say, na, everything is speed. So you should reduce your mind. I still remember.
Kranti Kumar, you asked about people facing health problems because of vaccination. You're all engineering students. Can you give me statistics on how many people were vaccinated and how many people had problems? Because even the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, 6 people had clots out of 7 million vaccinations. You have a higher chance of getting killed when you step out of your house every day.
Right.
So I think, again, please, as engineers, as people who look at data and facts, I would urge all of you to help quell these fears. There will be a few people, even if you drink too much water, you could die, you know that, right? So, let's put our fears in perspective. And also remember, we're taking vaccinations not just for us, but for the family and for the community. So, I know there's a shortage in India, but that will get resolved. But please encourage everybody to get vaccinated. In fact, in Kerala now, the government where our factory is located has asked us to provide how many vaccines we need for our employees. And we've added the families of the employees in that number as well, because we're going to, if we need to, we will, in fact, we've offered to pay for them from the company, because, I think it's important for everyone to get vaccinated. So don't forget that.
And it's also a community effort, and that is what, as I said, awareness of giving right information. Like Chetan told now, it is your job now to tell about 100 more people what the value of vaccine is there. And then, like I said, that phase 1, phase 2, if you search right information from the right websites, you will come to know that all this vaccination and all this in the medical field, correct? If you're a research student, it is always p-value is 0.001. Even if it is 0001 also, that's best. So it is not like that somebody is sitting on the road and he says this jadi buti, do tulsi and teen haldi. That may also have a value, but in the scientific field it is not taken on chances. And we also are promoting that everybody should take vaccine whenever is this. Somebody has asked about Youth for Seva. Youth for Seva is an NGO which helps people from corporate, general people who wants to serve the society, because there are many people who want to do something, they don't know where to do and how to do. So it's a platform where you can come. They will, if you are good at teaching, they will connect you to government schools. If you're good at maybe something to do with health camps, etc., if you're a doctor, they will give you an opportunity to do some health camps. If you're good at maybe training students for competitive exams or corporates, there are CSR activities that are happening. So it's a platform, an organization which helps bringing people together so that they can build a better society. The more about it, you can go to the Youth for Seva websites, or you can connect with me. I will help you.
Just to give you a little bit more information on vaccines, because we have medical doctors on our staff, as you can imagine. So one of my colleagues, she worked in the vaccine industry for over 25 years and was one of the key people who actually developed the dengue vaccine. So just remember that in the old days, vaccine development took 10 years because they would go through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trials in sequence, right, in series. And then they would build the factory and then the vaccine would come. What happened right now, because of Operation Warp Speed and other companies, other countries funding vaccine research, they combined phase 1 and phase 2, or phase 2 and phase 3 trials. And many companies, including Serum Institute of India, built factories even before the vaccine was ready. So there were 25 to 30 candidates, and finally we've got about 4 to 5 vaccines. So they just compressed the cycle in which they could do things, because they spent a lot of money. There are a number of factories today that are idle because of the investment they made, but the vaccine to be made with that technology didn't come through as one of those candidates. So the world as a whole has invested a lot of money and changed their process. So it's not that these vaccines are are less safe than if it had taken 10 years. I think, again, like I said, innovation during a pandemic, this is another great example of innovation during a pandemic.